Welcome, dear friends, to Tales from Grandma. Let's begin today's adventure.
Once upon a time, in a quiet little village called Greenhill, there lived a hard-working farmer named Matthew. He was known all over the village for his big heart, his warm laughter, and his endless dedication to his farm. Every morning before the sun even rose, Matthew would already be in his maize field, whistling happily as he worked. And finally, after months of hard work, it was harvest season. The cobs were fat and ready, their golden kernels shining like treasure in the sunlight. But the very next morning, something strange happened. As Matthew walked through his field, he noticed several maize cobs missing. Huh? He frowned. That's odd. I was sure this row was full yesterday. He shrugged it off, thinking maybe some fell off on their own. But the next morning, more maize was gone, and the next, even more. By the end of the week, Matthew was no longer smiling. "This is no accident," he muttered, scratching his head. "Someone or something is stealing my maize." Not far from Matthew's farm, deep in the nearby forest, lived a cheeky little monkey named Kito. Kito was known by every animal in the forest as the prankster of the trees. He loved mischief more than anything, especially when it involved food. But lately, he'd gotten bored of eating the same fruits every day. Then one sunny morning, while swinging through the trees, Kito spotted something golden shimmering in the distance. He squinted his little eyes. "What's that?" he wondered aloud. "It looks shiny." That night, when the moon was high, Kito sneaked into the field. He tiptoed between the rows and started plucking the juiciest cobs he could find. And every night after that, he came back, sometimes even twice. He ate until his belly was round, then carried extra cobs home to his treehouse. By the seventh day, Matthew was furious. "This thief has no shame," he said angrily. "Whoever it is, I'll catch them tonight. I need a trap." He gathered old clothes, straw, and a hat, then built a scarecrow that looked almost human. But this time, instead of just standing it up, Matthew decided to make it special. He fetched a big tin of superglue from his shed, the strongest he had, and smeared it all over the scarecrow's arms, legs, and chest. When dusk began to fall, Matthew carried the sticky scarecrow into the middle of his maize field. He placed it under the moonlight and whispered, "Let's see you try your tricks tonight, little thief." Later that night, Kito crept out of the forest as usual. The moonlight lit up the field like silver. But when he got closer, something caught his eye. "What's that?" he whispered. Kito froze. Could that be Farmer Matthew? The figure didn't move, not even an inch. Kito scratched his head. "That's not Matthew. That's just a scarecrow." He laughed loudly, slapping his knee. "Ha, did he really think he could scare me with that silly thing? I'm not a bird. I'll show you who's boss." He balled up his little fist and punched the scarecrow's chest. But when he tried to pull his hand back, it wouldn't move. He frowned, pulling with all his strength, but the scarecrow held tight. And so with his free hand, he threw another punch. Smack! Now both hands were stuck. He kicked the scarecrow furiously with his legs too. Thud! He got stuck again. Now Kito was completely glued to the scarecrow. When the first rays of sunlight hit the field, Matthew walked over, humming a tune. But when he saw what was stuck to his scarecrow, he stopped in his tracks and gasped. "Well, look who we have here." Hearing the noise, Matthew's neighbors soon gathered around the field. They gasped too when they saw the monkey dangling there. Matthew nodded. "Yes, and he needs to learn his lesson."
"Please forgive me. I'm terribly sorry. I promise I'll never steal from the crops again."
Kito cried. For days after that, Kito stayed far away from the maize field. From then on, he planted his own small garden behind his treehouse, filled with sweet fruits and nuts. He worked on it every day, just like Farmer Matthew. And when harvest time came, he was so proud of what he had grown that he invited all the animals from the forest to share. As they ate and laughed, Kito said with a smile, "This food tastes even better because I worked for it." From that day on, no one ever called him the forest thief again. He became known as Kito the Honest Monkey, and he never touched anyone's maize again.
And that's it for today's story. See you in the next one.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.